Yo, what is going on, guys? Hutcho322 here, back, and today, fans and coaches of the ASL, I am bringing you yet another weekly recap. And today, in weekly recap, I have for you week 2 of the ASL in the 4th season. And without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and hop right into this video. But a quick announcement before the video starts. Not power rankings. Pick'em crew will be late, unfortunately, again, just because it is at the very front of the week, and it is 100% dependent on coaches getting their matches done on time. Now, unfortunately, we had some slight complications with that this week because 2 matches were played late, but I assure you, we are trying to get that fixed within the league to make it so, these pick'em crews are on time. But without further ado, time to hop into the weekly recap. So as you can see on your screen, we have a 5-0, 3-0, 3-0, 5-0, 6-0, 3-0, 1-0. So basically in week 2, it's basically you're trying to bounce back from whatever happened in week 1, or you're trying to keep going what you had in week 1, whether you won or lost. But our weekly heroes are as follows: Latios, Reuniclus, Hariyama, Alolan Raichu, and Cloyster. I will tell you there are a few sweeps, and there's 2 off the top of my head. But without further ado, we're going to hop into the first match. We got the Washington Whalers taking on the Hartford Whalers. After the Washington Whalers took a 1-0 loss last week, they're going to fall again to now the 2-0 with a plus 11 differential Hartford Whalers. DCP having an almost perfect start to the season. Had he have 6-0'd Sam, it would have been, or not Sam, Cam. Oh my god, I'm tired. Then it would have, he would have the best possible record after week 2. Latios getting 4 kills, so let's go ahead and hop right into the match. We got a Druddigon leading out against the Jolteon, and if this match is quick, or if this video is quicker than usual, I'm going to try and get through it just because it's really late right now and I need to get to sleep. But anyways, it's going to be sub Jolteon trying to HP Ice this thing, and it is going to get a low roll on the Druddigon, as Druddigon is going to go for the Dragon Claw, put the Jolteon on 1. So we're having a 1% war, but Cam going to whip out that nice Sucker Punch attack and getting the first kill of the match on turn 4, getting rid of Jolteon, which is a huge threat for his team. So the Diggersby going to come out, go for the pure power, huge power, wild charge into the Skarmory to 76%, absolute nuke. But out comes Quagsire on this Diggersby, as it can come out almost every time since Quagsire can take a lot of its hits. And Quagsire goes for the Earthquake, as out comes Celesteela, and Celesteela is going to go for what I assume is HP Ground. That honestly makes the most sense to me. If Cam didn't want to run Earthquake, he just wanted to run pure special, I can understand. Victini is going to unfortunately miss the Blue Flare, as the Bronzong is going to set up a Blue Flare and or set up a Blue Flare. Oh my god. My apologies. Set up a Trick Room, as Victini's going to swap out predicting the Earthquake. And here we are. Skarmory gets a Brox, and Primarina is going to be wrong, or Cam is going to be wrong on that prediction. Going for the Psychic into the Skarmory. Basically revealing that he is a Choice Specs variant, based on the damage and based on that he swapped out afterwards, because otherwise he would have scalded again. But Bronzong going to go boom, as this Venusaur is going to go for the Leech Seed. So good plays on Cam's part just to try and get rid of this Venusaur, put himself in a position to get rid of this Venusaur. Out comes Skarmory on the Celesteela, proving that it does not have Flamethrower, as it otherwise would have gone to that. TCP was going to go into his Latios to scout that, and is going to go for the Gigavolt Havoc, ripping this Primarina in half. So out comes Ditto looking to copy this Latios, and yet again Cam is going to make an over prediction, and this is going to cost him the match. Now that Latios is at +1, it absolutely OHKOs everything, and even the Ditto coming out is not going to be able to kill, as I truly don't know why he didn't go Ditto at this point, because if he would have dropped the Draco, actually it might have killed. Yeah, it definitely would have killed. But Latios, as you can see on your stat screen, is going to be able to pick up the last kills, as Cam is going to overpredict yet again. And honestly, Cam could have played this match better. It's just like 3 over predictions really just costed him. The first one cost him when he went for the Psychic. He's just gonna calm mind up a bunch now. When he went for the Psychic on the Skarmory, Over predicting there. The second one, what's it called? The second one was going for the Surf on Latios, allowing it to set up this far. And yeah, so that is going to be the game. The Hartford Whalers are going to take a 5-0 victory over the Washington Whalelords. Next up, we got the Utah Hoots taking on the Arcane Arcanines. And Kurum and Xploud putting on a lot of pressure on the Arcanines team. Suzy bettering his record to a 2-0 start as he had a rocky end to his season 3 run. So he's starting off well, and Ian or Altaria Motives having a very good season 3. He's not doing too hot right now, 0-2 with a -9. So let's hop into the match. Got a Rotom Mo against Sableye. Rotom going to go for, or Sableye going for the trick. My apologies. And the Rotom is going to go for the Reflect, so maybe trying to get some stuff going with this Necrozma. Necrozma is going to get burned. It is going to eat its Lumberry, so Susie's not off to the start that he wants. But he's going to get to go for the Calm Mind with this Necrozma, as Golbat is going to go for the Toxic, as Necrozma is going to get to +2. Now Golbat's going to go for the Super Fang, as Necrozma is going to Calm Mind again. I don't really understand why Suzy is Calm Minding this far, but now he's just going to go for the Stored Power. Crit did not matter. There's no way that would ever matter. Even like Assault Vest, I don't think would live that. But Lando is going to come out and go for the U-turn, getting rid of the Necrozma. If Suzy would have only gone to +2, I think he might have had a chance to pick up 2 kills. He probably would have killed the Golbat. And then, I don't know, I just think he would have got 2 kills, to be fair. Golbat showing that it is an Infiltrator variant. But still has to take a ton of damage from the Ice Beam, not wanting to die to another one. He's gonna go out, or Ian's gonna go out into Sableye. Unfortunately, gets frozen. So if he does not thaw, that's gonna be significant, and he does not thaw, because otherwise Sableye can 100% of the time stall out this Kurum. Again, bar crits. Excuse me, I had to take a water. Take a drink of water. But there is Kurum's second kill of the match onto the Zapdos, absolutely obliterating. He's going to die to any one hit, as Sceptile is going to go for the no drawback play of going for the HP Fire. As here comes Darmanitan. Darmanitan going to go for the U-turn, which gets Suzy into his X-Cloud just to click Nuke and kill something with Boom Burst. So out comes Landers. Landers is actually not going to be able to get rid of this X-Cloud, as this is going to prove to be a choice. Scarfed X-Cloud is going to go for the Boom Burst and do loads of damage to the Lando. Although it is Scarf Sceptile, it cannot, or Scarf X-Cloud, it cannot outspeed Scarf Sceptile, because it is Scarf Sceptile, which means that Darmanitan can come out, live the HP Fire, and get rid of that thing with a Flare Blitz. So that is going to be the game. The Utah Hoots are going to win a 3-0 victory over the Arcane Arcanines. Next up, we got the Florida Floatals taking on the St. Louis Samurats. And Reuniclus, being one of the weekly heroes, picking up 3 kills in this match. It was a pseudo-offensive Mon in this match, where it picked up a ton of kills, but it was more of a defensive role. So let's see what happens. So we got Electivire and Reuniclus lead. Turn 1, Anderson is going to be crit on his Reuniclus, which is definitely not how he wants to start off this match. He's just going to go for the recover either way. And then Mudsdale going to go for that nice Earthquake, as Reuniclus is going to go for what I would assume to be the HP Ice for the Garchomp head it came. But Reuniclus can recover stall this thing and just repetitively click HP Ice. Is going to get 40 rolled, as Reuniclus is going to just want to recover up as much as it can now. Probably get around to the realm of 85, no less, or else it's going to be potentially 2 rolled. So Anderson's at a comfortable amount of health where he can go for the HP Ice again. Unfortunately, another one is not going to kill for him. So Rocker going for the flinch here. That is not going to be the case, and Reuniclus is going to click recover. Don't worry, Mudsdale, you'll have plenty of hacks in this match, buddy. So Type Null going to go for the U-turn, get into this Uxie, as Anderson is going to miss the Thunder Wave, which is very unfortunate. And then Uxie going to go for the knockoff, wanting to just get rid of any potential item that this Reuniclus has. But out comes Klefki and can start setting up spikes. Now Mudsdale is going to come out, and Anderson is going to show his phenomenal prep, going for the Magnet Rise, so this thing can be set up all over. Rocker doesn't really care and just wants to go for the Heavy Slam, which will be an easy 3-hit KO. but Klefki is going to be able to get up 3 layers of spikes in the process. Unfortunately, misses the player up, so Anderson getting very unfortunate hacks. So out comes his Crocodile, going for the Stealth Rocks, and the Mudsdale is going to have to superpower into this Crook. Does nothing due to Crocodile's Choppleberry, plus the Intimidate checked on there, tacked on there. I'm sorry, my mouse is on the screen. But Aloe just wants to Wish Pass into Crocodile, and this is going to be quite unfortunate. That's why the play rough miss was exponentially unfortunate, because Crook is going to die. But out comes Reuniclus, scooping up its first kill in the match, getting Anderson back into this game, as Reuniclus is looking very nice, especially if it does happen to be a Colberberry variant, because then it can actually take on Weavile to a degree. So Reuniclus is going to go for the Thunderwave as the type null, gonna go for the return, and Reuniclus going to recover, doing what it do, and it gets paralyzed. So unfortunately, Anderson needs to swap out here, but what do you know, type null gets paralyzed as well. So Alamamola is going to make the smart play of just knocking off that Violite. I gotta get some water. Is going to try and keep on the pressure with the knockoff, just trying to do whatever it can to this type null, get it weakened, because each time it comes in, it is going to be taking 37%, 12 from rocks, 25 from spikes. So that's why Anderson bringing that nice hazard removal, understanding Rocker or hazard stack, understanding that Rocker's hazard removal was slim to none. He was able to set up all over with his hazards. So Alamola is going to go ahead and pass a wish into this Reuniclus. Reuniclus not fearing the Thunder Punch due to the incoming wish that is going to get, as it is going to be able to take a Thunder Punch, gets paralyzed unfortunately, so Anderson is at risk of a roll. It would have to be a very high roll, but Reuniclus does not fall to the roll and can go ahead and recover up all it wants. So Reuniclus playing a fantastic pseudo offensive role, as Anderson is going to make the swap into Salamis. Thankfully, due to its Intimidate, is going to be able to live and is going to kill with a Stone Edge. So incoming Deoxys Speed is going to take a lot of damage from spikes, and Anderson is going to sack off his Ments, which gives him a free swap into this Reuniclus, which is where Rocker pops this Reuniclus's Colberberry with the Dark Pulse, as Reuniclus is going to go for the Shadow Ball. So the impending threat of Weavile is there, but Infernape walls Weavile to most extents. So Reuniclus is going to be sitting here, the wall that will not fall, as I like to call it. Reuniclus is going to get paralyzed, which is a little unfortunate, because it might have clicked a Psychic, it might have clicked Shadow Ball there. But out comes Uxie again. Uxie does not have reliable recovery, which is the biggest hindrance for Rocker, which is why it doesn't make U-turning easy for him. But he is going to go sack off his type null to the hazards. That is a kill for Crocodile, as it died to rocks, not spikes. So Aloe is going to have to take these knockoffs. It can take it very, very well. If it keeps getting paralyzed, no. But it's going to get a wish off, so it's chilling. He's going to go for the knockoff, get rid of Weavile's Focus Sash. Focus Sash likely there for the Ments, or for maybe the Infernape, just to live a Mach Punch, because I don't even think with the Chocolate can live a Mach Punch. So Weavile is going to try and paraflinch this Alamola. Fair strategy for Rocker. It's his best chance. It's like a 33% chance to para, combined with a 20% chance to flinch. So you got it's about a little bit over a 50% chance to flinch and or paralyze. I don't know if my math is completely on right there. Again, I'm tired. It's past 11. You can understand. But Alamola is going to scoop up the kill on Weavile, and then out comes Uxie, and Rocker just wanting to show off his set to a degree, as out comes Reuniclus. Anderson wanting Armstrong to get this last kill, as it definitely will, as long as it doesn't get paralyzed every freaking time. I mean, Anderson would win the game anyways, and Infernape wins in every scenario. But Reuniclus, come on, man, break free. Thank you. Reuniclus is going to kill the Uxie with a Shadow Ball, as Anderson did have to go through hacks. It wasn't game-changing hacks, so Well, yes, it wasn't game-ending hacks. Moving on to the next match, we have the Newcastle Mets taking on the St. Louis Swablues. This was a 5-0 victory in Gumby's favor, and much like TCP, he has had a very good start to his ASL Season 4 run, as Hariyama picking up 4 kills, being a weekly hero in this match, and Malone falling to 0-2 with a -8. Definitely not where he would like to be, but let's go ahead and hop into the match. We got a Kirin Black going up against an Electros. This favors Kirin Black immensely because he can go for that Earth Power and breaking through the Levitate with the Terravolt. So out comes Hippowdon. As Malone pulls a swap into Scully. Likely predicting the, I guess, the Hariyama. But Cryogonal is going to be roared into as the Hippowdon is going to go for the Stone Edge. I'm actually surprised that it did that little, but Cryogonal did get a defense buff in Gen 7. But it is going to go for the Ice Beam, and it is going to die to one more turn of Sand and or an Iron Head from Drill. So Drill getting the first kill of the match. As out comes Scrafty. Scrafty is actually a relatively good swap into Drill, since it's pretty bulky and it can Oko Drill if I'm not mistaken. So Electros showing off some of its set, going for the Super Fang, as Hippowdon can beat that through slack offs. And Electros just wants to keep up the pressure, but Hippowdon says no thank you, is going to go ahead and roar that into P2. And not wanting to take the hit with Hippowdon, he's going to go into Tangela. Not really sure why Gumby went Tangela, as Tangela is very poor on the special defensive side. But P2 gonna go for the Tri Attack and is not able to live an Overheat. It probably would have lived a Fire Blast, but Gumby whipping out the all-out Overheat. So Armaldo getting up the rocks here as out comes Hariyama. Hariyama is not messing around. This boy trying to Oko is gonna go for the close combat. Scrafty is going to live sheerly on its Intimidate. Is they going to get its, what berry was that? It's not. It might have been Iapapa, maybe. Even after a +1 defense boost, this Scrafty is not living. As out comes the Armaldo. That thing is not living either. I don't know if Malone forgot to calc with Burn, but Hariyama picking up its second kill of the match. He's going to go for the Bullet Punch on Scully, and Scully is going to get a Swords Dance up. So this is not looking good for Gumby. Malone can likely pull this back otherwise, but Delphox is going to go ahead and die to the rocks. I don't, wait, why was a kill credited to Scolipede? The kill should be credited to Armaldo. You gotta think of this, mate. Bow. Perfect, gotcha. But that fake out on the Scolipede, it was definitely unfortunate. I don't know if it mattered. Either way, I think I don't think it would have mattered because you just go Hippowdon, get up the sand, and then you can weaken it down. Would it have changed differential? Yes, of course, but you just go Hippowdon, let that thing die, get some sand damage, go back to what's his face, Hariyama, fake out, bullet punch, you're good to go. So Gumby is going to win that in a 5-0 fashion. Moving on to the next game, we got the Interm Melodic taking on the St. George Dragonites. Static versus Gumby, and Static having the worst start possible. So a lot of polar opposites here as he is 6-0 for the second time, as there is a nice sweep by Lowland Raichu in this game, and I absolutely love the prep by EN. So let's go ahead and hop into this without further ado. We got a Blastoise and a Weezing lead. This is favoring Blastoise, as Weezing cannot take special hits that well. Is going to get burned turn 1, so that's definitely going to hinder its longevity. This Blastoise proving to be very special defensive. Possibly even AV for that Lando. So out comes Blastoise on that Goodra. Goodra proving to be a physical variant. Probably doesn't have Power Whip based on the fact that it's swapped out. Or if it does, it might be banded. Who knows? Out comes Steelix on Blissey. This favoring Steelix. Blissey wants to swap out going into the Lando. Making an aggressive play, but it does pay off as Steelix was just trying to get rocks up. It is Calm Mind Lando. And Mamoswine scares it out instantly. Ice Shard is Okoing, as EN just wants to go for that. Swapping out, showing that he might be a a choice Mammo in some fashion. Otherwise, he probably would have gone for the Icicle Crash there. So Blissey is going to come out. Blissey chews up the Ice Fang. It's not going to appreciate heavy slams, although it looks pretty heavy. It's going to get a wish out into Goodra, as Goodra is, well, it's not going to get it into Goodra. Ian's going to make a good play and Dragon Tail that thing out. So out comes Hoopa, which scares out Steelix immensely, but no fear. Ian decides to stay in and go for the heavy slam, as another one is going to actually kill Blissey. But he wants to swap out into Mamoswine, maybe scouting the Protect after seeing Wish. So that is going to be a thing. And at 44%, this Blissey is definitely not living. So Static is going to go ahead and sack off his so-called check to this Mamoswine. It's actually a decent check, but it's no longer a check now that it's dead. And I guess Ian wanted to swap out there. He felt this was a perfect time to execute his plan. Plus, otherwise, he might have been vulnerable to setup from Gyarados. So out comes Blissey, as the Raichu is going to Nasty Plot on the Wish. And then Ian makes a phenomenal play, Nasty Plotting, a second time predicting the Protect. He knew where Static was at, and this Psyshock is going to obliterate the Blissey. And here's the fantastic part. If you could see up here on your screen, he's got the Terrain Extender. There's Raichu, second kill of the match. This Tapu Koko's holding a Terrain Extender, so this thing can keep going. Psyshock, another kill. Who's next? Hoopa? No, you're not living. Goodbye. Thunderbolt in the +4 in Electric Terrain. Out comes Gyarados. You do not outspeed. Take a hike, Gyarados. Alolan Raichu picking up 5 kills in this match. Very, very well played game by Ian. Fantastic prep. And the St. George Dragonites moving on to a 2-0 start. Next up, we have the BC Bibros taking on the Slow Bohemians. The first 1-1 team that we've seen in the entire video. TG not getting off to the start that he wanted to after making it to the semifinals last season after being the regular season champion. He is 0-2 with a -6, as there is a nice little sweep in this game too. Cloyster picking up 6 kills. Let's hop into it. We got Swellow up against Mew, and Swellow just wants to go ahead and U-turn on out here. Fair play, as Mew's going to get up its rocks. Latias could potentially defog, but is going to go for the Calm Mind, as Mew is going to go for the U-turn. Latias wanting to swap out just from the threat of Sneasel going into Emboar. This proving to be a defensive Emboar. I like this. It's a good swap into Serp. It's a good swap into the Sneasel, as Sneasel's very good against TJ's team. And Jirachi gonna go for the Stealth Rocks, wanting to get them up for that Sneasel, for that Volcarona, as this is a Calm Mind Finny. Jirachi got to get out of there going into this Decidueye. Not sure if that Moonblast crit matters. Either way, it's definitely unfortunate. Jirachi can take the Surf very, very well and can go for the Psyshock, doing about 30%, so respectable damage, of course. Is going to Psyshock the Mew, which does not do a ton, as Mew is going to Will-O-Wisp, but it doesn't really matter a whole ton since this is a special Jirachi, as another Shadow Ball will potentially kill this Mew, but is going to prove to be faster, as it proved that in the last turn, basically confirming that it wasn't a speed tie. Mew is going to continuously soft-boiled. TJ just hoping for that Spit F drop. There it is. Which now is going to be able to force out the Mew, as Mew has to go for the U-turn now. Going into Zygarde, Zygarde can actually eat up the Shadow Ball decently well. Doing 22%, but gets a special defense drop. Doesn't really matter. Zygarde is going to outspeed the Jirachi. That Sugar Berry, not going to help you, Jirachi. Take a seat. And out comes Latias, likely being faster. This proving to be a choice Zygarde, as TJ probably didn't expect that. But now that he knows that, he can go into his Cloyster, set up that nice little shell smash, and using its Wide Herb, it's going to be back in good health. So Cloyster going to go for the Icicle Spear, is going to get rid of the Serp. That is 1 kill for Cloyster. Out comes Tapu Fini, and good prep by TJ, going for the Poison Jab, getting rid of this Tapu Fini, probably calcing Rock Blast on TJ or TG's part. But anyways, Icicle Spear is going to be able to get rid of this Mew. And out comes the Zygarde. Zygarde, you are definitely not living this, especially not even under Yachi, because Yachi would only help you with one hit. Out comes Sneasel, you're gonna die to Rock Blast. Psych! Missed. So the Sneasel gonna go for the knockoff, but since Cloyster already consumed its item, it's not going to be killed by that knockoff. Don't really know why I didn't go for Icicle Spear, especially here. I don't know why I didn't go for Icicle Spear. Because if Volcarona actually... No, never mind. There's no way Volcarona would have brought that back unless it was... It had to have been Choice Scarf and literally crit everything else. But anyways, that is going to be the game. Nice little sweep from the Slowbro Bohemians. They're going to pick up a 3-0 victory over the BC Bibberls. And for the last match, with the Portland Timbers taking on the Phoenix Flygons, we have a repeat of the finals, ladies and gentlemen. And boy, was this a close match. It was a 1-0 victory for the Phoenix Flygons, so history repeating itself. Dang it, Keister. I'll get you in the next one, man. So, our second 1-1 teams, the only 1-1 teams are the Portland Timbers and the Slow Bohemians. The Phoenix Flygons not coming off as explosive this week, but do pick up a win either way. So, there's going to be a Cofagrigus and Piloswine lead. Piloswine wanting to swap out into the Hydreigon, as Hydreigon can pressure out this Cofagrigus, and if Life Orb can OHKO Cofagrigus, is going to go over the U-turn and proves to be Life Orb. And Piloswine is going to be out on Registeel and gets free rocks on Registeel, as out comes Cofagrigus again. And then going into Cresselia, not fearing the Shadow Ball, as I'm going to go ahead and double into Lopunny, predicting the Shadow Ball. Since this is a Heal Bell Lopunny, I can actually wall this Cofagrigus, bar the HP fighting, which he does unfortunately have. But either way, he's going to go, or Keister is going to go for the Will-O-Wisp, as Lopunny is going to fire off the, Heal Bell, and is going to be sitting pretty right now. And then Lopunny going to swap out into Skuntank, taking that Shadow Ball pretty easily. And then can go for the nice Pursuit, as Cofagrigus is going to be swapped out. So out comes Registeel, as Registeel walls Skuntank, bar Fire Blast, but Skuntank really does nothing to Registeel with Fire Blast. So out comes Lopunny, as Lopunny walls this thing as well, bar Superpower. And predicting the HJK, Keister's going to go for the Protect, as Lopunny is going to go for the Drain Punch. And Drain Punch is going to be able to come through and kill this Cofagrigus. Crit did not matter in the slightest. So out comes Aromatisse. Aromatisse obviously scaring out the Lopunny into the Skuntank, which Skuntank can take 2 Moonblasts if it so needs to. But going out into Cresselia, possibly wanting to throw off a Toxic, as Keister's going to make the double into Nidoqueen, so I make a perfect time to go into my Cresselia, as Keister goes into his Zard on my Hidden Power ground. So he's going to go ahead and Mega Evolve, go for the Roost. I'm going to go ahead and go for the Psychic, doing 38%, proving that this is it has a little special attack in this Crest, and it proves that it is an offensive Zard. So Zard is going to get Toxics here, as Cresselia is going to go for the Psychic, which was not my best play. I definitely should have Moonlighted there. I give more deep discussions in my video about this match on my channel. But Zardex is going for the Flare Blitz, as it is going to die to Skuntank's Aftermath. So Skuntank getting a nice little kill there. As Piloswine is going to go out into Cresselia, and Cresselia getting a special attack drop. A little unfortunate, but Cresselia just wants to go for the Toxic. But first wants to get healthy with Moonlight, as this is a perfect opportunity for Keister to go for that nice Calm Mind. If you guys don't remember watching the championship last season, I hate this mon with a burning passion. It lost me the championship last season, and as you can see on your screen, it lost me this match. So, Aromatisse gonna go for the Heal Bell, as I'm gonna make a very aggressive play into my Lopunny, trying to just hit this thing as hard as possible, going for the return as Lopunny is going to drop. Going into my Thunderous, actually Choice Scarfed is going to go for the Sludge Wave, as the Aromatisse is going to go for the Moonblast, and I should have gone into Piloswine earlier, because I did not know Piloswine, A, Earthquake would have killed, and B, would have lived a Moonblast. So Piloswine is going to get rid of this Aromatisse, stopping the sweep. So Nidoqueen coming out, and is going to go for the Flamethrower On to Crest. Crest can live it very comfortably as Crest beats out Nidoqueen every day of the week. And Nidoqueen proving to be slower, but does go for the taunt. Registeel coming out on this Cresselia. Cresselia is going to go for the Psychic. Out comes Hydreigon, trying to just put some pressure onto this Registeel, as it is going to go ahead and fire off a Fire Blast onto the Protect of the Registeel. And Registeel trying to use Toxic Stall to weaken this thing, proving it is especially defensive as Fire Blast is going to get a nice little burn there. I think it's 30%, so it's like a Scald burn chance, so it's not like out of the question, you know. But Hydreigon would be able to die to one more roll of Toxic. Predicting the Protect, I'm going to go into my Piloswine. And Keister, being the smart player that he is, putting 4 into speed as I put 4 into special defense. Don't really know why I did that. But he's going to win the speed tie, which basically seals my fate in this game.
Addiction protocol initiated.
Oh my god. Can we not do this advertisements? I'm literally almost done with the video, but I'm just going to go ahead and keep HP grounding. There's nothing much I can do. Yes, the Toxic Stall is detrimental, but like, what am I supposed to do? You know? There we go. Hydreigon is basically there now for a sack, just to get rid of like the massive amounts of toxic damage that my Cresselia is taking. As I'm just gonna go for the Moonlight, as this Reggie goes for the Hidden Power Fire. It is a Hidden Power Fire for my possible Ferrothorn bring. I'm gonna pull the swap into my Hydreigon now. Fortunately, I'm not going to be able to live Toxic and Rocks. I thought I might be able to and get a nice little hit off potentially, but he's gonna go for the Protect. And now it's Crest against the freaking world. Crest is going to go for the HP ground. And predicting another HP ground. Or no, this is on a Protect. Yeah, it's on a Protect. I'm going to go ahead and go for the Moonlight. Obvious Protect. And Keister is going to go ahead and go into his Thunderous on the HP ground. So smart boy, smart boy. And he's going to pull a double into Registeel, hoping that he can live the Psychic. He likely will. Psych, I'm a crit you boy. And get this back to a 2-0. And with this toxic damage, it's looking like it's going to be a 2-0. But wait, look at your screen. It says 1-0. Oh, well, you're in store. So I'm going to go for the Moonlight as I'm taking 30% with Toxic. He's going to go for the Thunder Punch. And Crest is going to go for the Psychic. Get a nice crit. That definitely mattered. It would have done like 38 otherwise. So Crest picking up the last kill, as it is not enough, and the Phoenix Flygons are going to take a 1-0 victory over the Portland Timbers, repeating the championship last season, just in a closer game. It should have been a 2-0 either way, so both of them would have been 2-0s. But anyways, that is going to be the game, and you guys can see what, you guys can read over what's upcoming in next week of the ASL. But thank you all for watching this segment of Weekly Recap. I will see you guys all in the next video. Thank you and goodbye.